Overdubbing is a really, really time-consuming process. It is a beast of an undertaking each and every time that you press record, of which there are hundreds, if not thousands of times broken into takes. Overdubbing is simply the process of overlaying tracks to create something greater. To me, it's something of a three-dimensional sound sculpture, and the third dimension is really quite literal when you add panning to your tracks. To get that kind of an outcome, something worthy of being called art or sculpture, there's a tedious journey, and an extreme amount of care has to be put into each and every phrase, note, harmony, articulation, expression, melodic motion, etc. It all starts with a piece, be it of my own creation or an arrangement or adaptation of something already composed. These pieces or arrangements can span anywhere from 8 to 24 parts, each of which completely playable on the trombone, or one of its common ancillary counterparts, the soprano, alto, tenor, bass, and contrabass trombones. These parts typically span 3 clefs, alto, tenor, and bass, and span the entire range of the instrument, of which there are 5 complete octaves that are called upon. My personal arrangements usually make use of all of these instruments and require a great deal from myself in an effort to push my musical boundaries without being impossible. Overdubs are as much a practice tool as a legitimate form of art, and are extremely powerful in this way. The process of making these things starts on paper, with a simple outline of a composition or arrangement based on an original score. This is quickly transferred to Sibelius, a powerful music notation software for the Windows and Macintosh platforms. Through Sibelius, a crude MIDI realization is created, helping me to better conceptualize the product that I am creating. Following this, a legible score is created, annotated, and extracted to physical hard copy, and then the real work of the overdub begins, the 40+ hours of recording sessions that it takes to prepare work of this caliber. In the recording studio, my process is deceptively simple. Use a mono signal to record parts in small fragments, creating vertical stacks of recorded parts in the Digital Audio Workstation, a software for editing software instrument, audio, and MIDI information. At times, the sheer volume of recorded parts and active tracks, which can be up to 40, can begin to wear on the processing power of a computer, and this is a constant battle when preparing works of this size on mobile platforms. I manage as best I can, and most of the time I'm able to work around this small limitation. After the brute work of recording is done, mastering work can begin, tweaking the recorded parts into something cohesive and beautiful. It is in this final stage of production, the panning, the addition of reverb, equalization, limiting, compression, and all manner of odds and ends, that art really takes shape and the term sound sculpture really starts to make sense. Through most forms of musical practice, the result of all the effort can be so frustratingly minute that it leads to disillusionment, and that's a very dangerous and sad thing. Overdubs have helped me in this way most of all. When you finish these things, you get a product. You get an actual outcome, something to point to, something to look back on and be proud of. Very few forms of practice can give you something so concrete in such a short amount of time.